I'm going to pause right here and just let you know that while you watch me get ready, you are going to be deeply uncomfortable. You're going to be deeply uncomfortable because I have no idea the temperature of this curling iron. This curling iron is older than most of my children. I'm never going to let it go. You're also going to see me put on makeup. I don't know really what I'm doing. I have been told by friends who do makeup professionally that watching me do my makeup is horrifying. I'm not soliciting feedback on like what I should be doing or how I should be doing it and whether or not it's like gross to use my fingers. It's fine. I'm not touching your face. I'm touching my face. But I woke up and I was tagged in a thread that really is in my wheelhouse. It really does fall into my genre, which is love after loss, and specifically widows, dating widows. I can only speak from the perspective of a remarried widow. Also, by the way, I will use the word widow to represent any gender. I think it's so bizarre to be like, sorry, boy widows actually need a different word. Like, I just think it's silly. I'm a remarried widow. I have a blended family. I did not plan on that. We are each other's, this was not the plan. This was not the plan for anybody in our family except the child that we have together who's like, wait, what happened before I was here? Huh. By the way, that child is not offended that I was married and that my husband died, but he's like deeply offended that his dad was married before and got a divorce. Like he's really upset by that. He's like, Dad was married before. Can't believe Dad got married before. And I'm like, I know. Wow. He's not upset about me. He's not upset about me. He's like, obviously Mom would get married. Look at her. Just kidding. But my kids are in love with me. So this thread was posted by a person who was asking for a friend. And I actually kind of hope it's not real because one, if I was in this situation and my friend posted this sensitive thing to threads, I would be like, why would you put that out to the entire world, dude? Why would you do that? That was like a private topic that I brought to you. What on earth made you think that I wanted that blasted out to everybody on the planet? But this is the thread. One of my friends is getting married to a widow. Her wedding is in a few months, and she will be moving into the home he and his first wife bought. The first wife died during the birth of their only child. The child survived. As the friend prepares to move, she'd noticed several family photos of her fiancé and first wife displayed in various rooms. While she understands his situation, she'd like to redecorate and remove some of the photos from public display. Her fiancé doesn't agree and wants to keep the photos out for several reasons, one of which is for his daughter, who is now 4 years old. Unfortunately, my friend feels some type of way about this and is questioning whether or not to move in, let alone get married. Is she overreacting, or does she have a right to feel the way she feels? You might not like how I respond to this. One, of course you have a right to feel how you feel. You have a right to feel all of your feelings. Feel them. I also don't know this couple. I don't know the person who posted this. I don't know anything other than my own experience as a remarried widow. But I also think if you are questioning whether or not to move in with someone, the answer is don't move in with them. If you are questioning whether or not to move in with somebody who has a child, don't move in with them. And if you are jealous of a child's dead mother, don't move in with that child's father. Because what I hear when I hear stuff like this is insecurity. Insecurity about your relationship and where your relationship stands. When somebody says, I understand, but it kind of tells me that you don't understand. This girl lost her mom, a mom that she will never, ever know. Yes, I'm putting like foundation over my eyes. Like I told you were going to cringe. Just get a grip. So did my son. He has no memories of his dad. You know what he has? My memories, and he has photos. As this kid gets older, they are going to be more and more curious about their dead parent. They're going to miss their dead parent. And anytime you step in to a kid's life, it is your job as the adult to hold space for that child, for who that child is becoming, for the parts of that child that you may not understand. And you will never understand what it means for that child to have been born the day that her mother died. You'll never understand that. You are stepping into a role that will require you to become a parent, but you are not a replacement. You are not a replacement for somebody's dead mother. You are not a replacement for somebody's dead wife. You are a person. This is a brand new relationship. We all bring all of our relationship history along with us. And I think that in my experience, that pop culture, even like pop songs, love songs, breakup songs, movies have kind of encouraged us to think of relationships that no longer exist as failed relationships. And I don't think that a relationship that ended is necessarily a failed relationship. Also, widowhood is, of course, a lot different than a breakup, but hold on, I'm going to get there. This woman who's dating this widow is also bringing all of her life experience and relationship experience to this relationship. I don't know what kind of relationship she's been in, but she is seeing these photos of oh my God. I think it's time to let this guy go. I really do. This almost leaked all over my brand new shirt. This is the Charlotte Tilbury contouring wand. Honestly, like, it's fine. Look, it's gooing out. It's gooing out. You know why? Because I brought it on a plane. That's never been the same. And it's so gross. And this is going to be its final voyage. So enjoy it, guys, because you're never going to see this again. It's so gooey. Ew. Oh, and I can't move. Okay. I love that I'm trying to like talk about something serious while I'm also like gooing all over the place. Okay. Oh! Ew! You're stepping into a parental role. You're not replacing anybody, just like you're not replacing anybody's wife, right? You're building this whole new relationship. But if you walk in to someone's home and see pictures of their dead spouse, a dead person, an actual dead person who can never come back, who you won't have to see at school pickup and school drop off, like who, there's no danger that they're going to leave you for their dead wife. You don't want that in the house. Like, you want to hide them away. I just don't think that this is the relationship for you. I really don't. I think everybody wants to feel special. Everybody wants to feel like, oh, if I'm the love of this person's life, which, like, LOL, what does that even mean? This is the only relationship that should matter, right? Like, I should be like the center of this household, and I should be the center of, like, all of this. And it's like, dude, this person's dead, and all that is left are memories and photos. Now, there's a chance, a small one. Sorry, now I'm going into finger territory, and I know this is going to gross a lot of people out. There's a chance, of course, there's always a chance that, this man's house is a museum. It's a museum to his dead wife, in which case, you know what? He's probably not ready, but it's not about the pictures. It's not just about the pictures. The pictures are a sign, a symptom. This whole entire situation, I think, is a sign that you're not having the right conversations. Is the issue the photos, or is the issue that you just feel insecure about the relationship? Because again, a dead person can't come back. If you come to my house, you will see, even this house, right? Even this studio that I film in, you will see photos of my dead husband. You'll see photos of my dead husband's dead grandpa. You will see photos of my current husband and our family. You will see photos of everyone who's important to me, whether or not they're alive. One thing that I love about my husband, one thing I love about Matthew's never made me feel weird about it. He's never made me feel weird about the photos that I have up. He's never made me feel weird about listening to Taylor Swift songs and crying about Aaron. Aaron's birthday was the other day, and Matthew asked how I was and, texted Aaron's mom. And losing a spouse, losing a partner, I don't care if you are married, losing a parent when you're a child, having grief shape your life in such a profound way really does make you a different person. And it's hard to be in a relationship with a new person who doesn't understand that. I remarried a person who was divorced. Not the same kind of loss, but a person who understood, who'd gone through his own stuff, like who had lost his own family and his own, relationship, like his own sense of like what his future was going to be, and wasn't intimidated by or uncomfortable with my own sadness or my own grief or anything, and really allowed me to have all of those feelings and still make space for all of those feelings. People always tell me that I'm lucky that I have Matthew, and I am, right? Of course, I'm lucky that I have a wonderful husband who loves me, and he's lucky too, guys. I'm not like some freaking ogre. I actually think we're both pretty lucky. I think we're both pretty lucky. It's lucky to kind of like, find a person. It feels like you're like I've won the lottery twice or, been struck by lightning twice. What was I going to say? People always say that I'm so lucky to have Matthew, and I'm so lucky to have somebody who, understands my relationship with Aaron and, it makes the space for that relationship with Aaron. Matthew has his own relationship with Aaron. We live in this world where we don't have each other without everything that we've been through before. Everything. So what I would want to say to this woman who's so upset by or intimidated by or insecure about all of these photos of her husband's dead wife who died in childbirth, giving birth to his daughter, is that there is no you. There is no version of this life that you have with this man and this daughter without that loss. And you should have your own relationship, your own spiritual, emotional relationship with that man's dead wife in some way. There is, she didn't lay down her life so that you could bang her husband, but you have to honor her life. And you have to find a way to integrate that into your life and your relationship. Like if you really think about it, if you really sit with it, you don't have this relationship, you don't have this engagement, you don't have this daughter that you are about to welcome into your life without everything that this man and that little girl have been through, without that woman that he fell in love with, started a family with, lost tragically. It comes down to her, and it comes down to everything that led you to this relationship too. So honor all of it, every heartbreak that you had that got you to this point, every relationship that went wrong, every, first date that didn't turn into a second date, every time that you were ghosted or ghosted somebody else, and wrap it all up and appreciate it. The conversations that you should be having are about the life that you want to build together, because that life does not mean erasing his past life. It doesn't mean, I'm here now. You don't have to be sad about that dead wife of yours. Like, that's not going away. It is going to change. This man is 4 years out from the traumatic loss of his wife. He had to bring a brand new baby home from the hospital without the woman that he thought he was going to be raising this baby with. And you're here now. And it's wonderful. You can build a life together if you're honoring what life is, which is not just the highlight reel. It is not just, the weddings and the engagements and moving in together, but everything that got you here as well. And a blended family is not the easiest thing in the world to do. There's some statistic that I was fully unaware of when I fell in love with Matthew about how like a really high percentage of second marriages with children involved end in divorce. I didn't know that. And I don't know what I would have done with that information. I probably would have ignored it because I just would have ignored it. But blending a family really does require a lot of work. It requires a lot of work on yourself because you are not the center of the world in a family. Nobody is. You have to create like your own little solar system and figure out how to revolve around each other. I don't know how solar systems work, but you're forming your own little galaxy. And you are not the most important person in this. This little girl is. And it's going to be important for her to know that her past, her father's past, the mother whose blood runs in her veins, who she will always be missing, who she will always be aching for, that she still matters, and that it's okay to talk about her, that it's okay to have her photo up, and that even though her mother is not physically here, her mother still has a presence in her home and in her life. And if you feel insecure about that in any way, talk to your therapist. Talk to your therapist. And if you don't think that you can handle living with photos of your fiance's dead wife, I don't think this should be your fiance. I don't. Because if the photos bother you that much, I don't know how you're going to handle death anniversaries. I don't know how you're going to handle birthdays. I don't know how you're going to handle the big feelings that come along when time moves on and the person that they love and miss is just still sort of like suspended in amber somewhere. Grief is long. Grief is weird. Grief is ugly. Maybe some of those photos will come down someday, but they'll come down when the person who put them up is ready to take them down. Not because somebody asked them to, not because somebody was uncomfortable with it, but because it feels right. We have 2 massive gallery walls in our house, and those photos have changed. There's still a lot of photos of Aaron. There's still a lot of photos and mementos of our life together, and we've added to it too. So instead of removing some of the photos, so I don't know. It's like, even think about, photos are that's such an interesting thing too, because it's like, instead of focusing on what to take down, why don't you figure out what to add? Like what to add that honors like the entire story, the life he had, the life you had, the life you have together, the life you are building. Focus less on what you want to take down and more on what you want to put up. That's what I would say. But we've made some TTFA episodes too, some terrible thanks for asking episodes. And one was about this girl whose mom died before, basically when she was too young to remember her. And she grew up feeling like she couldn't talk about her mom and that memories weren't shared with her, and that she was just like always missing her mother, like really profoundly missing her mother. We interviewed her dad as well, and he was like, really? I feel like we talked about her all the time. So it's like, I just think it really scares me when someone wants to get involved in a kid's life, specifically a kid who is a grieving child and is trying to erase the dead parent. That's a trigger for me, guys. That's a fucking trigger for me. I'm like, her mom's already dead. So how about you just let her have whatever pictures of her dead mom in the house? There are a lot of responses to this that kind of echo the same thing, it turns out. Please leave the photos. As the daughter of a widower, erasing my mom's present was my stepmonster's first mistake. Our mom passed away. She was not a threat to their marriage. She could have easily added her touches with family photos and other decor, but instead, she literally tossed things in the trash. I'll never forget my sister standing outside, going through the trash sobbing. 2 photos in our dining room isn't a shrine. And honestly, even if it is a shrine, how beautiful to honor the dead. I also think about like, what would you want if you were dead? Well, that's kind of like, if you were dead, you like literally wouldn't care. But like, who wants to be just sort of swept away and hidden away? My father allowed his new wife to remove all the photos of my mom. They married 1.5 years after mom died. I hate him for it every day. He's doing everything possible to erase my mother. Why is your friend threatened by a dead woman? Why is she so insecure that she thinks a few pictures of a dead woman, the mother of his child, is going to ruin her happiness? Whew. I wish your friend would not marry this man if this is such a problem for her. There's a child who has suffered a tremendous loss, and that should be everyone's main focus. Her mother's picture should always be in the home. If your friend is too fragile that she's jealous of a ghost, she needs to let this man go. He didn't get divorced, he lost her, and they have a child together. Your friend needs to understand that he is going to have a place for his deceased wife. Also, the child is only 4. She deserves to have pics of her mom displayed. The friend is overreacting. As a widow myself who was remarried, my now husband was fine with me having pictures of my late husband around. Being jealous of a deceased person is weird. Dating a widow is not for everyone, and it seems as though this is not a good fit for your friend. That's actually a really good point. Yeah, dating a widow is not for everyone. Dating is just, not every relationship is for everybody. And what I was going to say, I think like 900 thoughts ago, is that people always tell me I'm so lucky to have Matthew. I'm so lucky to have somebody who when Folklore came out, and I cried to Cardigan for a long time because Aaron wore cardigans, and it just felt like it really was like written for us. Matthew just like let me lay in bed and cry, and he was just there. People are like, you're so lucky, you're so lucky. And I'm like, yes, I am. And so is he. And also like, we have to raise the bar, because I actually don't think that I should be lucky for having a husband, a partner, somebody who loves me, who also allows me to grieve the person without whom there would be no us. There would be no us. I don't think that I should be considered lucky for that. I think maybe we should raise the bar a little bit.